every milk you can find. All right. Good morning, everybody. I am Paulo, and I will be leading meditation this morning. You, yeah. Um, I have been practicing Buddhism for 20, oh God, yeah, 20 some years. If I think too much about it, I start feeling old. And I've been coming to Dawn Mountain for, I think, almost 14 years now. So um, it's a little bit about me. Um, a little bit about meditation this morning. Um, so, what is meditation? In this particular context, meditation is the active training of our minds to be able to focus on an object for a prolonged period of time, an object of our choice for a prolonged period of time, right? So we're training in choosing or being able to choose what we pay attention to. That means that when you are inevitably distracted by the outside world, and sometimes the inside world, actually, sometimes the inside world is even more distracting than the outside. We can notice that we're being distracted, and we can choose to pay attention to whatever that is that we are using as our object of meditation. Um, why is that even important, right? In this world of rushing, in this world of social media and political outrage, there are both internal and external forces that are continuously driving our attention to not where we want our attention to be, right? Whether it's I'm a little bit uncomfortable, I'm not, whatever, I don't want to pay attention, I'm on social media, and suddenly, 30 minutes have gone by and you're not doing what you set yourself out to do, but you're just in a pit of algorithm. Or hey, you're talking to a loved one and something's distracting, and now your mind's over there. But actually, you wanted to be present, right? You wanted to be present with yourself. You want to be present with like those you love. And then just at a deeper and a spiritual practice, there might be like prolonged periods of time that you're practicing something specific and you want to be practicing wholeheartedly. So the foundation of all that, our ability to stay with what we want to stay with, to choose where our attention goes, is what we're doing here, right? Which is we're choosing an object of meditation. In particular, today we're going to be working with our breath, which is a really nifty object of meditation because it goes with us, right? Like you take it with you, and it's a direct access to our bodies. The cool thing about being human and having a body is that our bodies are always in the present moment. So through the breath, we access our body, and by being with the breath and the body, we can actually be here and now, right? And they're ever all the time with you, right? So whenever we feel like we're losing a grasp on the present moment, we can always bring back this practice of paying attention to the breath. A little bit more specifically, so I'll be leading us through sensing the breath in different parts of the body, relaxing, feeling grounded, so that we can feel comfortable paying attention for a prolonged period of time. And then along the way, we'll use a second object of meditation, which is the sound hung. Traditionally in Tibetan Buddhism, the sound hung is related to the mind of the Buddha. So there's some wisdom quality to the sound, but I don't know. I think it's just better for you to experience it yourself. It doesn't have to mean anything in particular. Like in some regards, sound is a little bit more dynamic than breath, right? Like there's something happening there, and there's sound externally. So like, can we pay attention to the sound? So I'll let you know when I'm going to start doing the hung practice, and just I invite you to join me. It's about 2 hungs per breath, and we'll do it for about 2 minutes. Um, and just try to pay attention to the breath, right? To the sound, right? And so like what's happening there is that, we're transitioning from maybe like a little bit more less dynamic object like the breath in the body to like a sound. It's like, no, it's moving. So it's a slow transition from Cushing meditation to more dynamic, and then how does that translate in our day-to-day life? Like, can you actually be present when you're talking to your loved ones? Can you catch yourself when that discomfort comes in and you reach for the phone to go on social media, but say like, no, I don't choose to do that right now. I'm going to sit with my discomfort. What does that feel like? And we'll talk a little bit more about that here in the back end. So anyway, without further ado, let's breathe a little bit. So bringing your mind home, noticing the quality of your breath, noticing the quality of your body. I like to start out by taking a deep breath, or maybe 3 deep breaths, and exhaling out of my mouth, just kind of clearing out the cobwebs. And then just noticing the breath. There's a number of places you might want to pay attention to. Initially, it's easy to notice it coming in and out of your nose as you inhale and exhale. Maybe your throat. You can feel your lungs expanding and then falling back down. Or if you were to take a full yogic breath, it would start at the bottom of your belly, or your do, or muladhara, or dantian, which is about 4 finger widths down from your navel, 4 finger widths in. So it's deep in your belly. And that's where the breath really should start. So your belly expands. Then your rib cage starts to expand. And then finally it tops up at your collarbones. And then from there you start to drop, and you try to make it even, right? So your inhale is slow and long, and your exhale is just as slow and long. Maybe finding a pause at the top of your inhale, and a pause at the bottom of your inhale. It's maybe a second at the top and the bottom. Relaxing your belly, relaxing your throat, letting your shoulders fall away from your ears. Your teeth aren't against each other, but there's a little bit of space so that your jaw is relaxing. And then feeling the contact with your seat, maybe moving side to side, back and forth, and just finding a place with both your sit bones are equally making contact with your chair, with your cushion. From there, from that contact with your seat, noticing that you're supported by earth. Gravitational embrace of earth just holds us here. No expectations, just allowing us to be supported. If it helps, you can feel into how gravity pulls us directly to the center of the earth, no matter where we are on Earth's surface. feeling supported by Earth. From that seat, noticing your spinal cord, how each vertebra kind of stacks on top of each other like coins. And then as you get to your cervical spine, the bottom of your neck, you tuck in your chin a little bit and you notice how your spine actually becomes straighter, aligned through your cervical spine, so that the crown of your head is kind of pointed directly upward, as if there was a string on it. Noticing how you don't actually have to hold on with your muscles much. You're allowing the support of your skeletal structure to hold you here. So feeling into the support of your skeletal structure and your tendons. How and allowing the tension in your muscles to fade away a little bit. And then there, noticing that there's alignment to deepen your belly and your dough, all the way to your crown. This is commonly known as the central channel in yogic traditions of the East. You're just feeling supported from the core of your body. And inevitably, your mind wanders away into thoughts of the past, thoughts of the future, your to-do list. None of that is getting resolved or done now. So without fighting it or trying to suppress it or grasping at it, just notice it and nudging your attention back to your breath. That in itself is the practice. we'll chant Hung. Just inviting some curiosity about the experience. No judgment, just curious. How is that for yourself? What is that experience of signs? Just noticing your breath. Noticing if you're not exhaling fully. We often have stored tension in our bodies and we don't actually exhale all the way. We kind of hold a little bit. Since you exhale slowly, just try to exhale as much as you can. And at the bottom of the exhale, taking a little pause, relaxing your belly, and starting the breath from the belly. Again, just noticing when you've been distracted, not fighting it, right? It's a little bit the relationship of an elder watching children play in a field or letting a dog run off leash in a park. You're not trying to suppress, you're not trying to grasp. You're just noticing that it's there. There's a thought. Okay, that's cool. I have mind. I have thoughts. I'm choosing not to chase them at this time. And you just bring your attention back to your breath. Don't be discouraged if you have to try again and again. It is better to think of the thoughts that distract you, or any distraction really is just an invitation for practice, right? Without the distraction, you couldn't practice on coming back to the breath. So befriend the distraction and let it just go away. Come back to your breath. We often try to hold our attention on the rooftop of our mouths or in our shoulders. That's actually not helping. So letting go of tension in your mouth, letting go of tension in your shoulders, just allowing our attention to be just the open awareness on the experience of the breath. And we'll chant again. Noticing the quality of your breath, quality of your mind, quality of your body. You might just notice that nothing has changed, and that's okay too. You're just being curious. And then coming back to the breath. If at ever any time during meditation, whether here or at home, you're feeling grounded or overwhelmed, it is nice to remind yourself that you are supported. And feeling into that support of earth, noticing your seat, knowing that earth accepts us without any expectations of judgment, feeling supported from there. Feeling supported from inside you, from your bones, that allow you to sit and feel grounded. Feeling supported from the center of your being, noticing that you are aware, that you can pay attention, that you can support yourself. From there, from that place of groundedness, you can come back to your breath. If your attention feels stale, you can forcefully breathe out of your mouth. And as you inhale, just inviting wakefulness and light back into your heart, back into your body. once again noticing if excess tension or dullness has crept into your body, you've gone distracted, and just relaxing your shoulders away from your ears. It's okay to move back and forth. This is not, there are certain types of meditation where we don't move, but it's okay to move a little bit. It's okay to freshen up. Take a deep breath, exhale out your mouth, and reaffirm yourself in your commitment to pay attention to your breath. Throughout meditation, I often take little micro breaks, a couple of seconds, where I allow myself to freshen up and come back over and over again. So take this as permission to do that yourself. And we'll chant one last time. If you haven't been doing already, I might invite you to try to meditate with our eyes open the last few minutes here. In our tradition, we don't meditate to run away from the world. We meditate to show up more present. And thus, as a symbol of that, we choose to open our eyes while we meditate. You can cast your gaze about 45 degrees down. And the idea is that we're not really paying attention to anything in particular with our gaze. Just kind of relaxing your eyes and just being open. Thank you for sharing your breath with me this morning. Um, Now I'm going to share a passage from this book by Pema Chodron, Comfortable with Uncertainty. Um, it's the book itself is kind of like each page is a chapter, and it's like very pithy, but like very fundamental to Buddhist philosophy. So we kind of been going through it, and it's I don't know, I find that's kind of fun. So this chapter is chapter 11 on page 11, and it's called Four Qualities of Maitreyi. Meditation takes us just as we are, with our confusion, with our sanity. This complete acceptance of ourselves as we are is a simple, direct relationship with our being. We call this Maitri. There are four qualities of Maitri that are cultivated when meditating. Steadfastness. When we practice meditation, we're strengthening our ability to be steadfast with ourselves in our body as well as our mind, right? So we're not running away continuously to distractions, right? Like we're actually practicing, like, okay, like I'm actually going to be steadfast here. The second one is clear seeing. Clear seeing is another way of saying that we have less self-deception. Through the process of practicing the technique day in and day out, year after year, we begin to be very honest with ourselves. This comes a little bit from, you start to like the veils of your own BS start to fall apart, and you kind of start to poke holes to your own storylines. We have a lot of storylines of why we are this way or why we do that, right? And I think over time, the more you meditate, those veils kind of start to fall apart, and you start to notice, like, oh no, like I'm just rationalizing this bad behavior to myself. The third one is experiencing our emotional distress. We practice dropping what every story we are telling ourselves and leaning into the emotions and the fears. We stay with the emotions, experience it, and leave it as it is, without proliferating. Thus, we train in opening the fearful heart to the restlessness of our own energy. We learn that to abide with the experience of our emotions, we learn to abide with the experience of our emotional distress, right? Like, like I kind of been hinting at this, like we're continuously running away from discomfort. In our day and age, it's social media, it's drinking a beer, it's smoking some pot, like whatever, like, whenever we run into discomfort, we're continuously just running away, right? So in practicing meditation, we're practicing being able to be with that discomfort. If you look at some not so recent research, but like, modern psychological research, they've been showing that we cannot actually process our emotions, whether positive or negative, if we don't actually feel them, right? Like, I think grief is a very obvious one, and it's very poignant, right? Like, I think when you go through a process of grief, the more you run away from actually feeling that grief, the more the feeling of grief actually increases, and the more painful it becomes. But when you sit with that grief, when you actually let it wash over you, as unpleasant as experience of it is, whether it's crying and really just feeling that intense emotion, once you're on the other side, like there's a release, right? And that's the case for most of our negative emotions. Like we're not suggesting that you indulge in them and you proliferate them, or that you act from it, right? I mean, anger is a very obvious one. We're not trying to say, I'm anger, right? You're trying to sit, I am angry, I am experiencing anger, and just watching it, and just letting that anger wash over you, and just seeing it curiously. And you find that anger actually subsides quicker when you do it that way, right? So that's part of the practice. And then the fourth practice is attention to the present moment. We make the choice to move moment by moment to be fully here, attending to our present moment with mind and body. It is a way of being tender towards ourselves, towards others, and towards the world. This quality of attention is inherent in our ability to love. Um, have you ever noticed somebody being really present to you? Like somebody who really loves you will like really be there with you, right? Like that's, I mean, how precious it is to be able to give our loved ones our full undivided attention, right? More interesting too, there is nothing else than the present moment, right? So being distracted by thoughts of the past, that already happened. That's behind us. The future, it hasn't happened, and chances are that whatever you're imagining in your head isn't what's going to happen. But how much time do we spend going back and forth and not here and now, which is the only thing that we truly have, right? So that in itself is precious. Um, it's love to ourselves in some ways. These four factors not only apply to sitting meditation, but they are essential to all of the citta practice and for relating with difficult situations in our daily lives. By cultivating them, we can start to as warriors, discovering for ourselves what is bodhicitta and what does that look like? Not confusion, that is basic, right? So your bodhicitta that is basic. The more you pay attention, the more you're present, you realize that this state of confusion is made a lot by our distractions and by our mind. But when you're present, when you let some of that subside, when you are able to sit with your negative emotions, you start to see that your natural state of being is a loving, compassionate, equanimous, joyous one, right? Which is the four aspects of bodhicitta. Bodhicitta meaning it literally translates to awakened mind. Citta is mind. Bodhi, like Buddha. Bodhi is awakened. Buddha is the awakened one. Um, and bodhicitta is the heart of the Buddha, right? Is this awakened mind that has the essence of love, compassion, equanimity, and joy. So through meditation, you started like peel away the layers of our confusion and start to notice that our innate nature, our awakened nature, is that of the Buddha. Everybody. Um, so those four qualities or four things that we're cultivating, we're meditating, is steadfastness, clear seeing, experiencing our emotional distress, and attention to the present moment. Anyhow, comments, questions, concerns?
I was going to say that before I started coming to Don Mountain, I used to meditate with my eyes closed. So it's definitely an interesting change to meditate with them open while looking at things. And it kind of reminds me of practicing like mindfulness, where, you try to clear your mind and you're just like walking around, like, going where you need to go throughout your daily life. And then it's like pretty similar here to like sort of be like looking at things, but then trying like not to like focus on something and just clear your mind. So that's like was interesting to me that it's similar, and with the idea of like steadfastness. So not being fazed by what's ever going on around you and being distracted.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I think you're hinting at this, but it's that quality of equanimity of bodhicitta, right? Like we're trying to practice in this place. I haven't really, in my personal life, I haven't really been thinking about this around like what does it mean to be relaxed? And then I'm noticing that part of being relaxed is being able to be equanimous, not being like pushed and pulled into extremes of emotions. Um, so I think we're practicing that, but we're also like, I think a lot of, this is Paulo's opinion, so just take it as that. A lot of spirituality is running away from discomfort these days. I heard somebody says that it's like, spirituality has become really selfish. It's like you just want to keep the good stuff, just push away the bad, and that becomes pretty selfish, and we became kind of nasty to others. But when we're like more open-hearted with our eyes open, right? Like it's in the Tibetan tradition, our minds aren't in our head, they're in our heart, right? So when you have your eyes open, you're actually seeing from your heart. Um, that's like you're actually showing up to the world, right? It's just like spirituality should make you like a nicer person. Not like running away, right? Now you're not just closing your eyes to like, oh, like I'm not paying attention to the bad stuff.
Yeah.
You're like trying to show up.
Oh yeah, I agree. That makes sense. So.
Anything else? Emily?
Um, I also think a lot of the spirituality we're seeing young people take up online, not even just young people, but people take up online is all about what makes them comfortable and feel good. And I think spirituality is supposed to challenge you and push you. And so if it's all like you should be transforming. And if you're not feeling challenged, if you're not feeling a little uncomfortable, you're not transforming. Um, but I liked what you said about you start to pierce these veils of bullshit because I have also felt that when you stop running away, you do ironically start to sort of see through your problems and they do fall away. And it's interesting because I've benefited a lot from therapy and I needed it and it was very good. But if you had told me prior to therapy, like to just let that stuff go, it would not have been helpful feedback for me. But it's like now with practice and everything, I'm in a place to look at some of the stories and say, sure, they make sense, but can I just throw them away? Do I have to really commit to the story and confront each piece of it, or can I just kind of call it bullshit? And I am starting to think that some of these things can just be let go, but it took meditating to realize that all the tangled emotions, um, they were real, but they were based on something that doesn't, it's in the past. So um, do I need to stick with it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe what I'm talking about, but it's interesting to come to a place where after fighting your whole life with like I have this past and it's caused this issues and blah 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 to just say like or I could just go, never mind. Not anymore. I'm starting to view it differently now and now it can just dissolve and I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have coping mechanisms, and those coping mechanisms usually are attached to stories that we tell about ourselves, right? And they have tremendous value because in many ways they've helped us survive and function. Um, but it's important to notice when they're not like the stories that you tell yourself about yourself are keeping you somewhere or keep like we're literally the stories we tell ourselves, right? Like that's ego. Uh, so if we want to change, we need to start telling ourselves different stories. So yes, cool. All right. Well, we'll breathe for a minute, just because I'm running out of time and I want to be mindful of y'all's time. We'll breathe for a minute and then we'll dedicate our practice and have some announcements. Okay. So dropping back into into your three pillars, noticing the contact, feeling into the contact with earth, with your seat, feeling the support of your skeletal structure, feeling your awareness deep inside your body, just noticing your breath, wherever that might be for you. we'll do our dedication. Yeah, there's awesome. The Book of Names. And generally, we dedicate just, in Buddhism, we collect merit, um, or we think we collect merit as we try to meditate and pay attention, and then you know, we don't try to keep it selfishly, we dedicate it to all. So we'll get some prayers up there. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. And we dedicate our merit to all sentient beings, but in particular today to Sylvia, Rolando, Nathaniel, Emma, Noah, Camachos, Jose, Monica, Benjamin, Larry, Maria, Robin, Gasa, Jake, Kate, Carly, Mom, Terry's recovery, Pat, Joe, Megan, Cindy, Judy, Danny, Sandy, Mike, Anita, Jamie, Sue, Doug, Bennett King, Amy, Valerie, Tex, Darcy, Nancy, Dad, Mom Bardo, Danny Bardo, Robert, Robert's mom, Amy, Winters, healing, Pat's healing, Shirley's healing, Ruth's healing, Madeline's healing, Jerry's healing, Candace healing, Emily, Shane, Lama Ridsing, Lama Namya, Lama Sherab, all sentient beings, Betty Lee Bardo, animals, victims of oppressions. And we'll close our practice with ah. So you're just gonna say ah, and it's kind of like using our imagination to then spread that merit through light. But we're also giving that merit to ourselves, right? So initially we spread that light from our heart to ourselves. Then we expand it to the room. And as we're expanding it to the room, we're actually getting it from each other, right? And from people afar. And then just let your imagination go where it wants to go, right? Just let your light expand. Thank you for coming out this morning. We have a few announcements. The first one is Dunmont is a not-for-profit. If you like what we're doing, please donate. Anything helps. You can also sign up to be a member, and you get a bunch of other discounts and free things, so you can do that. And we have some retreats coming up, and I'm going to let Emily talk about them because I don't know all of it.
Yeah, so this Friday, Lama Tenzin Sampa will be here from France. He's going to offer the All Creating Majesty over the weekend. And so please register. It's a great opportunity to learn from our guest teacher, who is wonderful. I did email for Sunday teaching he offered us a few years ago, and I posted it on WhatsApp if you want to check it out. But he's wonderful. He will also be offering the Treasury of Basic Space the following weekend. For those of you who are a little more advanced, that is an invite-only event. Then the first Saturday of December, we are going to have, this coming Wednesday, we have a free Compassionate Houston event online with Nathaniel Rich. That is cultivating open hearts in time of crisis. So that's on our website, and you can register for that too. But Saturday, December 6th is a big fundraising event for us. We'll have it in person and online. It's called Sustaining the Radiance. we'll be talking about this last year. We will be talking about Research Institute projects for the next year. And we are going to offer a free meal for those of you in person. And then we'll do sort of a fundraising pitch. So come and enjoy the celebration. You are welcome to come and have free food. It's not necessary to donate, but it is a fundraising event. And we are going to have a special holiday event announced soon. It's going to be the third Sunday of December and then the first Sunday of January with a little community challenge in between. So that'll be announced soon, and look forward to it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Just to say something about All Creating Majesty is, if you're familiar, it's, well, first of all, Lama Tenzin is an amazing human being who is kind of like a secret master. Like he keeps it pretty down low, but like his teacher, who was Annan Harvey's teacher as well, has always said that he's like his best student. So, Lama Tenzin is really cool. If you get a chance, come. Specifically, All Creative Majesty is, if you're familiar with the term Sokchen, which is it's often translated as great perfection and translates it as the great completion, which I tend to like more, is considered the pinnacle of Buddhist philosophy and practice for Tibetans, and typically not taught to like non-advanced students, but he's just teaching it, and it's a beautiful teaching. So if you had a chance, like I highly recommend it. If you're invited to do Treasury of Basic Space, do come. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, that's it. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Thank you.